Welcome to Adam fans, folks. Another evening, and I just want to give a shout out to everybody that's been supporting Adam fans so far. The subscribers go up little by little, step by step. We're getting to where we need to be. And tonight I have Shaq. I got myself, Josh, aka Can I get a penalty, please? Just one, maybe two. And I hope all of you would appreciate everything that we've been doing lately with Adam fans, and so much more to come. But as we go throughout the show. Those of you who watch this after the fact, we just want to give you a warm welcome and thank you so much for supporting us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and let others know what's happening around here. Shaq, how are you doing this evening?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Great, great. Okay, well, let's jump right into it. There's so many things that have been happening in the Premier League as of late, and in little later on, we're gonna talk a little bit about Dro's team of the week. Yeah, his team of the week. Before we do that, let's get do with the best goal of the weekend. What's your best goal of the weekend?
Yo, I have to give that. It's been a long time coming since we've scored a good goal. Our first goal in the Premier League wasn't anything to talk about. So you must know
Hmm.
I'm going for Odegaard's free kick against Burnley on Saturday, man.
Yeah, yeah, it was a pretty free kick, and ended up being the winning goal,
Yeah,
man. Good to see the youngsters stepping up and doing the thing, man. 2 games in the bounce, man. 2 clean sheets.
the
uh,
process.
the process. We're getting there. We're gonna talk about that in just a second. All right. Well, for me, I'd probably say, my best goal of the weekend. I really like Naby Keita's goal. I don't know if he planned to do it that way,
Hey,
but um, yeah, he took the shot, man.
yeah, he took the shot. That's it, bro. He took the
Yeah,
shot. He went in, and
yeah.
props to him. It was a good goal. It was a good goal.
It was a good goal. Yeah. Y'all know I like a good long shot, man. Those things are just epic. All right. Weeks is saying Rafina. Rafina goal should be goal of the weekend. Okay, all right. Big ups. It was a good goal too. We had some pretty decent goals here. I would like the Jesse Lingard goal, but I've seen that so often. We cut it in that right foot there and curl it. We have here Jolie saying J Link's top bins, and so yeah, that was pretty good though. And think here's something to say. Of course, he planned it. All right, I believe you was talking about earlier, but yeah, still, those are some pretty
Yeah,
good goals
Keita.
of the weekend. Yeah, Keita. Um, any other honorable mentions I can think of? You can think of you're throwing in there too. That's pretty good goals.
For me personally, I liked the ball for the
Mm-hmm.
Vardy's goal from Tielemans. I just think that it was a
Ooh.
nice lofted cross over to the
Mm-hmm.
back post, and Vardy just
Mm-hmm.
had to touch it in. I really think that
Was
that's
it
a good goal.
was
The
it a
goal was
better?
good
Oh,
because of the pass.
because of the pass. So you'd say that's a better pass than the Kovacic pass the weekend before.
No, 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 no.
That Kovacic
Kovacic
pass was
pass
nice though.
was
Oh my
delicious.
goodness, that
That
was.
was
I was
delicious.
like, that beatable 4-3-4 bad boy.
Yep,
That
check them out easily.
tell you. And what hurts is I've been there. I've been there, and it's the worst feeling possible. Where
Yeah.
the ball is so perfect, you can't do anything about it. The pace at which it's moving. Oh my goodness, yeah, that's just that. Media here bringing up Rafina again. So you got two Rafina fans. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
good goal. I expected him to score
Yeah.
too. That's why I put it in my fantasy. And we got Julia here saying Cash scores a good goal as well too. Yeah, it was. He did.
Cash,
He
even
did.
Bailey too. Bailey too. He had a good spell. I think it was a 15-minute spell.
He did. He did. Man, from since the Chelsea game when he came on, when he had who was it?
Yeah.
Alonso. Yeah, Alonso. He was
He,
destroying Alonso there, and I
yeah,
was
he was
watching
in
it
the mood.
live too. I was watching it live, and my wife was next to me, and I'm like, "Hey, babe, look at the Jamaican." So she look, and just while I was showing her, he just done salad Alonso, which was just crazy, you know. And then Alonso trimmed down on the ground, man. I always knew he was going to be a good player in the Prem. I have a feeling he's going to move for Aston Villa. Give him a season or two, but we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
All right.
As long as he can stay fit, he could be real. He could be a problem for them.
He could be a problem, definitely. Best game of the weekend. What's the best game of the weekend for you?
The best game of the weekend is probably the Man United West Ham game.
It was a good
Yes,
game, right down to
I
the
mean
last minute.
I like the Leeds Newcastle game too, but yeah,
That was a game.
Man United West Ham.
I didn't see the game. I had to watch it after. But um, what even watching it after knowing what's gonna happen, I mean, the tension leading up to the last 2 minutes of normal time when Lingard
Right.
scores, and then after that the handball from Shaw, and then Noble coming on, and then the penalty being saved by De Gea, who never saves penalties, then it just end up being pretty crazy game towards the end. A couple other people here. Aaron Weeks saying best game Manchester vs. Went lots of controversy. Suko says good evening guys. Well done to Netflix and Chilwell on
Yeah,
massing a
man.
huge 91 points lead in FPL. Big ups to you, man. Definitely Netflix and Chilwell. You had a very and what that was crazy too is that a lot of us had Trent didn't play, but he had Duffy on his bench, so just added, he had that guy on his bench that gave him points, so he's in first, definitely. So I'll big ups to him. But me and Suko right up underneath you, man. We're getting there. We're getting closer and closer, you know. And Shaq is in fourth, and he's not that far away. And the last thing you want to do is underestimate Shaq. All right. So wherever Jahil says, "Boy, them man try sabotage Awi." Who's the Awi? Maybe you can let me know who the Awi is, Jaleel.
It's Man
Who you
United
support?
fan data about. A Man
Oh,
Reba.
does he talk about they try to sabotage us? I got on the old shirt today. All right. Agreed. West Ham versus United. Football gods did their job. I know, right? That was crazy. That was really crazy. Because they here don't save penalties. I think they said the last time he saved a penalty in a game
Was
was 2014
2016 I heard.
or
And
2016.
the
2016.
last time and Noble haven't missed a penalty since 2016 either. So the commentators were
Wow.
saying that something had to give in that moment.
It seemed like the everything was aligned right there, boy. Murder. Wow. All right. So we go we get that 91 from? Well, what really helped him was he got 15 points from Sa. Sa had an incredible weekend, and he got 15 points from Sa, and then Tony gave him 12. So that already is 17 points. And then Salah was his captain. So, he had a good weekend. Big ups to him, he picked Sa. I don't know if you think he expected Sa to do 15, but hey, there you go. All right, Philly hacked the league. No. Maybe he did. Maybe he did. We'll see. All right, and he
Yeah,
went. Big ups to him. All right, Jaleel 2016 Leighton Baines. True. Good point. Leighton Baines never dismiss until he missed. All right. We see Suka says it felt like Chelsea returned to the old 3-point lane back in the day, where a win versus Spurs at the old White Lane was automatic. That's interesting. You know what's interesting
super
too? I was
super
gonna say
dropping
this
bombs.
later. I was gonna say this later, but before I forget, I saw a very interesting stat that both Chelsea and Liverpool's teams are valued right now around the squads are valued around the same, around 800 something million. But the first 5 games for both teams, they have the same exact results. Did you know that, Shaq?
Yep.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
See, and
I
both of them
understand.
beat both of them beat Crystal Palace 3-0 too, which was very interesting. You know, but we'll see. But what's interesting too is that we'll talk about it on Thursday. Is that this coming weekend though, one team have City and the other team have Brentford, so it's bound to give this weekend, or maybe it won't. That's the crazy thing about football.
Right.
All right. Julius says here, to my boy, Spurs going to win 3 and lose 3. All
Okay.
right. Tin
Tin
Pot
Pot
Club.
Club.
Man. Can we just Spurs didn't play anything? I was so disappointed. Yeah, I was hoping they would shake
I
up the
mean,
thing like a bit, but
that was a
they
bit.
didn't.
That's a bit. I think because Spurs was playing well in the first half, but then I
Mm-hmm.
think after Spurs had more possession in the middle, and then in the second half Tuchel brought on Kante, and that made a
Change
difference.
everything.
And that's basically
Hmm.
Chelsea started to get up in the get the ascendancy in the game.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. Player of the weekend for you. Who's the player of the weekend? Your player of the weekend.
My player of the weekend, and let me see. That one is a tough one because I don't think anybody really. Maybe I'd go with Thiago Silva. I thought he had an excellent game yesterday
Okay. Good
for
pick.
Chelsea. I really
Good
think
pick.
that he
Good
had an
pick.
excellent game for the week over the week. I mean, look, he's 37 years old. That's why
Yeah,
he had an
yeah.
excellent game. I'd give him a shout. I'd give him a shout. I'd give
Mhm.
what's his name there? Even Saint Maximum a shout.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
I don't think there's a standout for me. I really don't think there's a
Mm.
standout.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. Big ups, hey Joe in the building. Good you came in because I was just about to call your name. You know, and so you can do your team of the week. You can break down your team of the week why you chose those particular players. But before you do, I'm gonna go ahead and say my player of the weekend. I know it's severely biased, and I'm disappointed it wasn't in your team of the week, but it is your team of the week. So we'll see how that goes. I won't put David De Gea in there simply because of the fact that he never
Hey,
saves penalties. He never saves penalties, and nobody in the world would have think that he would have saved that penalty on that day. I think even United fans were like, 2-2. Mark Noble, don't miss. De Gea always lets them score. And not only that too, he made some good saves because West Ham came to play. He made some good saves in that game too, even preceding that. So that's my. I mean, I could give some other people. I thought the Liam Bailey, he played pretty well. Even for the time he played. I mean, I just really rate him as a player. And yeah, I was gonna say Suka. I was gonna say Sa. I thought Sa put in a performance that's worthy of a $50 million price tag, maybe higher. So we'll see. We'll see if that's enough. A couple people said the same thing too. Yeah, that Bailey deal. And speaking of Bailey, um, Joe, go ahead. Let us know. Good evening, Big Boss. Let us know about your team of the week. I'm going to put it up on the screen so that we can, be all on the same page with that. But yeah, talk to us first about that same team.
I mean, I was told to put together my team of the week, so
Mm-hmm.
I put together my team of the week. In goal, it would be Emmy. Emmy's
Okay.
in
goal is
goal. Yeah,
Why'd you put him there?
I think he had a good game because before that little before that goal from Cash, Everton were playing good football. To be honest, that boy see that kid Demari Gray. That kid came back with a
Yeah.
vengeance. That boy
I'm
looked
surprised he wasn't in
hungry.
your team.
And I mean, yeah, well, you see, the only reason he wasn't in my team, to be honest, is because they didn't win. They didn't win. He didn't score. He didn't get an assist.
Mm-hmm.
He was great on the day. He was probably Everton's best player, but
Mm-hmm.
there was no end result of the performance as good as it was. Um, yeah, no Manu players in the team. That's correct. The only Manu player for me that would have been a valid to put in my team was David De Gea, to be honest. But I didn't go with him. I went with Emmy because I felt like at different stages of the game against Everton, Everton were the better team and he kept them in the game. So that's
Okay.
why I ended up going with him. And in the long run, he still ended up keeping the clean sheet.
Yeah.
Um, then you have the back line. I mean, we're talking about the greatest defender in the league, VVD. So that goes without
Oh, I
saying.
thought, I thought you were going to say Gabrielle because that's how we normally talk about Gabrielle, but you didn't
I
do that.
understand this
So,
man disrespect on this
I
platform.
mean,
oh
I
man,
mean, he will get there, but right now, I mean, all fun and laughter and banter aside, I mean,
Oh, I'm not laughing, bro.
Virgil is the best defender in the league. Gabriel has not been doing it long enough and consistently enough. As much as I rate him as an Arsenal fan, he's my player. He's not been doing it long enough and consistently enough for me to go out there and say, hey, yeah, Gabriel is the best defender in the league. Virgil van Dijk has played 50 games at Anfield and has lost none. Zero.
Good stat. Good stat.
That's a crazy
So
stat.
why?
He's
So
on
why
an
is Gabriel
island
in your
though.
team though?
Because this is the team of the week. Gabriel
Okay.
was our best defender on the weekend, and I feel like, I don't know, because it's Arsenal and then niggas say, oh yeah, I just played Burnley, that his performance was overshadowed. But for me, he had a phenomenal game. I was actually, had it not been for Cash scoring his goal, I was actually also contemplating to put in Tomiyasu too.
He's
Because
had two good games. Yeah.
Tomiyasu, yeah, he didn't score a goal or anything, but he kept a clean sheet. He won all his aerial duels. He won all his duels in general, both in the air and on the ground. Right? Both in the air and on the ground. I think he had, what was it, 79 or 82% pass completion as well. Tomiyasu had a great all-round game. So I was actually contemplating putting him in, but I went with Cash because for me, Cash is to me is also might be one of the underrated right backs in the league because that guy is
You're
consistent.
right.
Honestly
That,
speaking, he's very
yep.
consistent. Yeah, he's very consistent. And that goal, bro, that was a nice goal. I'm not gonna lie. So I put in Cash. For me again, this is our personal preference.
It's
Alonso.
fine.
Alonso was great. Alonso was great, to be honest, and then he had the assists as well. And I mean, since Tunchel coming in, the old time Alonso, the fantasy points giver that we're accustomed to, is back. So, he had a great game. They won again, a clean sheet, so I kept him. For me, it was between, for Kovacic, Kante was a good shout, but for me, I went with Kovacic because again, he's not a player who scores a lot of goals. And I felt like for me, overall, he just had a very, very good game. Yeah, Kante came in and people thought the sub was crazy because, Kante for Mount, but it worked. But at the same
Yeah.
time, I feel like Kante got that extra praise because it's Kante. It's the likable guy that everybody loves. So again, and then we have Partey. I put Partey in because Partey also had a phenomenal game. Partey was our one holding midfielder, and then at one point also he progressed. He was the one who was always going back to collect the ball from Ramsdale. He was that link between Odegaard and Smith Rowe to get the ball forward to the attack. But then at the same time, at points, there were points where Ben White was struggling a bit with the physicality because what had happened was Gabriel was doing so good that both Wood and what's his name and Barnes were both targeting Ben White. So I'm not sure a lot of the tactical adjustment might have went over a lot of people's head, but Arteta made a tactical adjustment now where he had Partey sit back more and not just sit back more, but cover Ben White's side to
Okay.
basically help him with that double team that he was receiving. Because at one
Okay.
point, both attackers were going, they were just going at him. Nobody was trying to go at Gabriel. Because every ball go up in the air, Gabriel up in the air. You try to jump Gabriel, come up on your shoulder. So they were kind of targeting Ben White. And Partey was able to, get that dealt with. Partey had a solid game. Then if we're going upwards now, I put in Bailey. Yeah, he didn't play the full game, but bro, Bailey put in a 90-minute performance in 15 minutes. That guy came on, and Aston Villa was a different team, bro. Different team immediately from the minute he came on the field. The corner, he got the ball, he was ready to go at players. It's not no ticky, take time and pass back. And no, Bailey came in, and the boy was in killer mode. And then that
Yeah.
ball from Danny Ings, that pass, I think, again, went under the radar, but that ball was a beautiful ball because it went into his stride so perfectly. And that
Yeah.
header to set himself and the amount of power he generated on that, bro, that was a beautiful goal. So yeah, he didn't um play the full game, but for me, he did more than enough because he played 15 minutes and he got man of the match. That's crazy. Came on as a sub, played 15 minutes, got injured, got man of the match. He has to be in the team. Then we have Maxi. We know Saint Maximan is Saint Maximan. Saint Maximan is Newcastle's offense. To be fair, quite frankly, I think
Yeah.
Saint Maximan deserves better. So no ton of explanation. He was the only player who just always looks like every time he gets the ball, it looks like something is going to happen. He's going to make it happen with or without help. And then we have Ivan Tony. All the chilling shade that was striking him the other day at my club. The man had a great game. The man did it all. The man
Yeah. I
held
think
up
he
the
had
ball lovely.
2 goals disallowed too.
Yeah, 2 goals disallowed, and he had his penalty that he scored. He had an assist. Like Ivan Tony, the man had a phenomenal game. Honestly speaking, he had a very good game. So I could
I
not.
just thought about him that he scored in League One, League Two, Championship, and Prem. He scored in
Anthem.
all 4 levels. So big ups to him, boy. Anybody in
Yeah,
League One
man.
right now, work hard. You can make it to the Prem.
Yeah, but he had a great game. So yeah, he had to be in the team, and yeah, that's the explanation for the team, really.
Did Joe the team not shot?
No, I went through
No,
everybody.
yeah,
Oh,
you went
you
through
went
everybody.
I went
5
through
back.
everybody.
Oh, it was a
Yeah,
5 back.
Yeah,
yeah. It's 5 back. 5, 2,
because what we did
3.
was we went with a replica of the formation that was being played for the one put out by the EPL,
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's
which
it.
and they had a
I
five
know.
back.
I just miscounted. That's my bad.
Shall I give an answer to this question here from Jadila? Is Gabriel top 10 defender
I'm
in
pretty
the
sure
league?
he is.
You
I'm pretty sure.
know, maybe
I have the top of
could
my
you
head.
elaborate a bit?
I can't think of 9 players that are better at this
Big
moment
screen. Sheesh.
than I can't think of 9 players better at this moment than Gabriel. When I'm thinking about it, and I mean, who in the league? Okay, you have Harry Maguire, you have Van Dijk, you have Rudiger. Yeah, Gabriel has to be top 10. I can't. I don't know. Yeah, I
What
haven't.
you said, Joe? You agree?
Yeah, for sure. Gabriel is definitely top 10. Gabriel is
I
consistent. Gabriel is consistent whenever he does play. It was the thing that holds him back was injury. Then he came back. Then he had COVID. Then he got injured again. But fun fact: the last 7 games that Arsenal have played with Gabriel, they have had 5 clean sheets and 100% win rate. Right?
right.
Interesting.
Averaging, I think, what was it, 1 or
Conceding
1.2 goals.
less than a goal a game.
Yeah, conceding, point something, conceding
With
less
the
than a
five
goal a
back,
game,
with the five
right?
back,
No,
or just generally.
no, we're not talking about with 5 back, 3 back, 4. Just with Gabriel in the defense, the last 7 games that he has played,
Yeah.
He has
played
played.
in the team, we have 100% win rate, and we have 5 clean sheets, right? With
Wow.
with less than one goal, averaging less than 1 goal per game. Then when you do of all the games without Gabriel
Yeah.
in the team, without Gabriel in the team, we have a 14% win rate, and we concede, I think, we 2.1 goals per game.
Not bad stuff. So
So
he's
that kid makes a
based on
huge
that,
difference.
Ben White is the best partner for him with what you have right now.
In the
I
club,
think, boy, I think Ben White is a good partner for him now, honestly, not because the physicality is something, especially at his age, that he can develop. He's good with the ball at his feet for a centre back. He's very confident. He's very composed. So for me with Ben White, because then, for example, everybody said that this was going to be the tough game for Ben White because of the aerial battles. King, the man won all his area battles now. All no.
So
Not
who's better, Ben White or
50%,
Gabriel?
not 60%. For me, Gabriel is better. Gabriel is better as the pure out and out defender. But based on the what Ben White gives you in terms of like that Louis-esque type of play
Mm-hmm.
where he can ping that long ball over the
Mm-hmm.
top, and he's not afraid to collect the ball and drive towards the midfield if the
Mm-hmm.
space is there and then play it off. That's his game. That's why he was brought in, because the man, he's basically a replacement for Louis, if you really check it out. But
Yeah.
then the physicality is something that he can develop.
Hmm. Yeah, big ups to that though. Definitely he part of the reason why y'all are rising, And we have somebody here saying, Jaleel saying he thinks Diaz, Laporte, Van Dijk, Varane, Maguire, Thiago Silva, those only one better to me. That's still within the top 10.
See?
And
Still.
Tomiyasu, I think, is one of the best right back in the league. All right, getting props. 2 games in, just 2 games in, but
You
he
know,
played
he's
well.
been solid.
All right,
He's been
No,
solid.
been
he's been
solid.
solid, boss. He's been solid. The last game
Yeah.
he won all his aerial duels, and he won, I think, 5 out of 4 of his ground duels. And then the next, and he only had 1 training session. And then this game he comes in again and wins 100% of his duels, bro.
Well, if he keeps at this form, the spot is his. I me just say
Yeah, he's solid, man.
white carded. Wish me luck. All right, so like hopefully you do well, Amici, because both of your teams
So
are in the bottom,
I hope it
are in the
doesn't work
bottom
out.
5.
Not gonna,
No,
not
yeah,
gonna lie
nothing
to
to
you.
worry about.
30-second media.
Yeah, Moy was telling
30-second
me
media. I
that
hope it doesn't
you
work
two,
out.
you and who? You and Memphis tied for 32nd, I
Tied.
think it was. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fascinating. I don't know how type. It's interesting. All
Yeah.
right.
I
Uh,
got 70 something points, I think, this game week.
you did well. You did very, very well indeed. All right. Um, okay. So let's get actually to the weekend though. We gotta give some props up to Salah. Salah scored 100 goals and in the Prem, and he's just 4 goals away. Drogba had 104 for the most goals from African player. So here, based on what you saw for the title, if you guys can answer the question, y'all have a greater footballing minds in mind. Is Salah better than Drogba? Yes or no? Is Salah better than Drogba? Both of them strikers.
Let's go answer that shot.
If he's got,
See what the
they're
fans
two
say.
different types of players. They're two
I know.
different types of players. It will be hard to compare,
uh,
but on a goal scoring, if we can just look at their attributes of goal scoring, I'd give Salah the
mhm.
notch. I'd
So
definitely give Salah the notch
if you're picking a
because
team and you come down to those two, who you picking?
I'm
Salah?
taking Salah.
Okay,
Yeah?
Salah. Okay, all
Yeah,
right,
I'm
all
taking
right.
Salah.
Okay. Cool.
I
All right,
mean, look,
relegation
because you
rounds
can say,
there.
hold
Talk to
on
me.
there, Josh,
Okay.
hold on there. Josh and Joe, I am saying, I think he has more technical ability than Drogba. Drogba is more physical, he can win the ball in the ear. But I don't think there are
Mhm,
many things that Drogba can do that Salah can't do. When I look at Salah, I look at his overall game. He's gonna come. He can. He's not a great passer, but he can link the play well. Drogba is just there as a really good finisher, But I
mhm.
think that Salah can, when you want a goal, when you want different types of goals, yeah, Salah is your man.
Okay. All right. Maybe Asma here can
Yeah.
tell us what he meant by best in the world.
Jeez.
I assume it was Salah or maybe it was Drogba. Let me know, Asma, what it is. And Jalil over here, I think all these blues here are for Drogba.
Cup.
So I think where he is,
That's
I
fact.
Cap. Thank
He's
you.
saying
Yeah.
that's cup.
So I
Yeah,
think he's
because
talking about
Shaq
what
said
Shaq
that
is
he'd take
saying.
Salah.
Okay, got it. Thank you
Yep.
guys for that.
He
For
made a
that.
comment about, yeah.
Yeah, Salah is not
Facts.
more technical than Drogba. Okay, maybe you could let us know why. We have
Bro,
Baltimore,
the
whatever says
comparison
Drogba
is
wasn't the
crazy.
better goal scorer than Salah, and Salah is technically better. And it says here, boss, Drogba was crazy. Okay, all right, relegation rounds there. Let us know what is your pick? You picking one out of the two for your
Nah,
team?
it all depends on the scenario. Like Shaq said, that's a rough comparison because it's two completely different players playing two completely different roles. But then, like the question you ask Shaq, if you have your team and you need a goal, if I'm going with Salah, no, I'm going with Drogba because let me tell you why. Salah scores a lot of goals. Salah is a phenomenal winger. Yeah, his positioning, even if he's not scoring, his ability to just disrupt the defense, pull players out of place, find space for himself, use become a decoy, so to speak. Brilliant. However, Salah needs a lot of chances to score. In a team where Salah is not getting a lot of chances, he would not strive as much. Liverpool create a lot of chances. If I have a game and I need somebody to come on, and it might be one chance, two chance, I'm going with Drogba. Drogba is one of the best big game players forever passed through the Premier League.
Shaq wants to
And
jump in
there. He's a better finisher than Salah.
Wow, that's a tough statement there. Go ahead, Shaq. What you have to say? I love it,
though. Joe, yes. If you want Salah is not the most. Is okay. If you want a big goal, you bring Drogba. But you mentioned I can't remember exactly what you said. Salah's deficiency was. But if you want to highlight Salah's deficiency, I think for Drogba, creating his own goal, which is one of Salah's strong points, I don't think Drogba can do that. Drogba needs a team of creators around him to give him that chance. And it's not necessarily a knock against him, as the type of player he is. But then when you said that about him, then when we can say that about him, then I'll just highlight that Salah can get you a goal just off of individual brilliance.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Salah can get you a goal just off of individual brilliance. But then, okay, we say that Drogba needs a team of creators. Bro, you can probably put Memphis for be the cam in a Drogba team. Drogba just need one look in and the ball score.
At Memphis, or it was
Drogba just need one look in and the boy scored. Drogba is that striker that put fear
pure
in
number
the
9
defenders.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, pure number 9. Drogba is that striker that puts
Asma says
fear
here,
in
listen, look at the position Salah is doing it from wide. That guy from Chelsea was a dead number 9. Salah can play number 9, number 10, number 11. He has more skill. He better, hands down. Okay. What do you have to say to that? Joe. Salah is the top 2 goal scorers every season. He
I understand where they're
the greatest
coming
footballers in the world.
Yeah, that's fair. But again, if you do, my thing with Salah is to, and then again, it all comes down to personal preference.
Of course.
And this is no hate against Salah. Salah is a baller. I'd love to have Salah at Arsenal, to be honest. Well, in the past, I would have loved to have Salah at Arsenal. But we're talking about goal scoring. If we're talking about goal scoring, give me Drogba every day of the week.
Drogba, we have a study from Jaleel. Drogba best season, he had 29 goals and 10 assists, and Salah never had 10 assists. So we all know Salah don't like to pass. So he doesn't do that. All right. Jaleel says that Drogba had 39 goal contributions and missed 6 games because of African Cup of Nations. And he says here, so I have a question for you. Serious question. All right.
Very serious
I wouldn't expect anything else. All right. He says here, Salah or Robin? Salah or Robin?
Is this Chelsea's Robin or just Robin in general?
That's a good question.
If it's Chelsea's Robin, then that's not really our Robin. Well, he's good at Chelsea, but it's all right. That's all right, Robin.
Or Bayern Munich Robin, you know.
Yeah, so you
can try it
if it's Bayern Munich's Robin, then Robin in general.
Robin in
Salah or
general, yeah.
Robin in general, I'll still go Salah. I'll still go Salah. I think Salah
So
is more consistent. They're both
true,
left-footed. Salah's more
true.
consistent with goal scoring. Salah's more of a goal scorer. Yeah,
Hmm. And
I'd go Salah still.
the injury record of Robin too. Robin was always injured.
Hmm.
He light like a feather, you know. But one thing I'll give Robin for, but when Robin decided to just put on that left foot there and turn, boy, you know how the PlayStation people go again. I know with Xbox it'd be what B
RB.
and B. Yeah, I don't know for PlayStation people what it be, but then once that curl happens, boy, you know not to put him on his left foot. But yeah, Salah too. Salah's done that himself too. He scored some man goals that way, you know. And that's the case. All right, so yeah, let's big ups to
Wait,
him
Josh,
though, you know.
what did Joe
Yeah.
say? What's Joe take on it?
Oh yeah, what's your taking it, man? Who you
But
picking?
boy, that one.
Yeah, watch him.
Well,
Watch him.
I don't I as again as good as Salah is, as much as I rate Salah, I cannot pick Salah over Robin. Salah, Salah, bro, Salah
I love
again.
this
Talking
Salah
Joe
is
boy.
again.
Joe would never go down and give you
Salah,
legends in them boy.
Salah is
Never.
a baller. Yes, Salah is a
Mm,
baller. But we going to
mhm.
disrespect Robin like that? Robin,
Well, Asma
come
says
on.
Robin has one move. I love the guy, but Salah can do it all.
Which is what makes
Interesting.
him even crazier. The fact that he has one. Hey, how much time I had to see Salah destroy one team? Salah. And then tell me you never see Robin destroy one team.
Yeah, but then holistically, I would
Mm,
still have to choose Salah because I think he can do more than Robin. I think he can do more than
mm,
Robin. When you look at when I've watched both of them play, and I've seen Robin at his best. I've seen Salah at his best. Come back to the Premier League and took over the league. Yeah, it
mm.
has to be Salah.
One question on Salah though
Bro,
before we
nah,
move on. One
I
question
like
on
you can imagine prime Robin having Lewandowski up top. Prime, prime firing Robin with Lewandowski up
mm,
there.
well, it would be nice to see. Can Salah go much higher,
Again, we're
guys, than where
talking
he is
about
now?
stats.
This is my question. Can Salah go any higher than he is now? What's Salah's ceiling? What next does he
In
have to do?
what next?
Yeah, like right now he's rated, if you're gonna use FIFA as a gauge, which you really shouldn't, he's at what, at
Mhm.
89, right? Can Salah ever
Yeah,
hit
they
can
dropped
Salah,
his rating by one. I don't know
so
why.
he was a 90 before?
I get that. Yeah, he was
Okay,
90 because I had
okay.
Salah in my
Yeah,
foot team last year.
for team. Okay, good. Can Salah
Yeah.
ever hit like a 93, 94?
No, not for me.
What you said, Joe? Can Salah ever reach those heights? Can he get any better than he is now?
Yeah, Salah can. I mean, over time you're doing it consistently over and over and over again and you can stay fit. You some players get better.
Mm,
Some players get better with age, and if Salah is lucky enough to be one of those players that gets better with age, then yeah, he will get better. So then the again
You're right.
his so again his what you call it, his conversion rate and so on etc.
mm.
will go up
So he can
as
score
he
50,
gets
60 goals
older.
a
And
season?
no, I wouldn't say he's going to score 50, 60 goals a season, but then he'll need less chances because as he
To
get
do
older
that.
too, we have to remember a
Yeah.
big part of Salah's game is his pace. That's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
the biggest
And he
part of
lose
his
that.
game. The guy is ridiculously rapid. As he gets older, he will begin to lose that pace.
Mm. Well, O'Neal
And then
done.
when you
O'Neal
begin to lose that pace, you have
he
to
can
can do
change the
something
game.
else.
You have to change the
Yeah,
game,
have to.
yeah. All of them did it. Henry had to do that. Giggs had to do that. Everybody had to do that. You have to
Yeah, you
adjust the
have to,
game.
man.
O'Neal says, wait, what madness in this title? Joe, what I miss? Don't lie to me.
Oh, O'Neal.
So,
So
yeah.
Them man say, oh, O'Neal,
Yeah.
them man say Salah over Drogba. That's one. And them man say
You see,
Salah
oh,
over
hold on,
Robin.
because Friday,
Them man,
you
keyword, them
accuse
man.
me of conjuring up things, changing the narratives. Don't
True.
tell it how it
True.
is. Don't same with only you know why I lie to him. Don't lie on nobody or on the panel. Don't lie on anybody over the panel. We all said O'Neal. We all said it's
Salah
Oh,
over
a
Drogba.
tough
No, that them man
decision.
say.
It's a tough decision. But if you picking one person, that's what the question came down to now. If you have one spot
mhm.
left in your team, who you
One spot
picking?
left.
I
Who you picking?
chose Salah over Drogba. You know, because what you never know. I could have Ronaldo as my number 9. Then I would definitely choose
Yeah.
Salah.
Hey, but the question Josh asked, and correct me if I'm wrong, Josh. You said to Shaq, which is after, and then I answered after. You said to Shaq, if you have the two players and you need one goal, who you'll pick,
That's not the
I did
right?
question.
ask
That
that
And
wasn't the
too,
question.
but that wasn't the
that's
real.
what Josh
No.
said to you.
No, that wasn't the question.
I asked multiple questions. I did ask multiple. To
When
be
we got
fair.
into the debate, Josh said to you,
The
Josh
question that
said,
I responded to, Joe, was you have
Yes, you
one
did.
spot left on the team. The one spot
Yes, you
left on
did
the team,
answer that,
who
Joe.
am I picking? I pick Salah. Baby, you answered a different question.
but okay, so then here's my question. Then you have one spot
Oh
left on
boy.
the team. It all depends on where that spot is too, because okay, you have one spot left on your team
Right,
out
but
on the right wing.
that's why
You
you
gonna pick,
want to get
you gonna
technical.
pick Drogba. You gonna pick
Right,
Drogba,
but that's why
which
if you
which
remove the
which is why
technicality, it's just for you to choose one.
which is why from the
Oh
jump,
boy.
that the comparison. That's why I said it's a tough comparison because then if
Yeah,
you
it
have one
was.
spot, if you put it that way, you have one spot left on the team. If a
But
number
the
9 and Drogba may
spot
go with, if a wing, if a, the right wing position, I go with Salah because he a winger. He a winger. He
Mm,
produce
so
big
say
numbers.
basically
Okay.
Josh tried set up army. That's just it.
Well,
I did.
maybe
I
so.
really
No,
did.
maybe
I
so.
did it by
Maybe
purpose. I'm
so.
sorry.
Because the way the
Oh
man,
man.
hey, listen, the way the man sound the top, okay, if you see Jalil start comment
Yeah,
rapidly, you know,
boy.
the
I was
man say
waiting for
Salah over
him.
Drogba,
I was waiting
Arjun
for
over
him.
Robin, Salah over Arjun. Madness.
Okay, he says it. Okay, okay. We had this time. You see, work. He saw like I could see his face though, like he visibly vexed. Oh my goodness. Sam, did
That if he
I
have on the arm, that if the
read?
face the title.
Oh, and then as they come in, Salah. Can we move on with Salah? Let's move on with Salah. Next question, right? Ollie. After losing in the Champions League, he got a lot of stake. Ollie out. He didn't know what he's doing. He incompetent. He comes back with this win. Arteta, lose your first 3 games. Win your next 2 with clean sheets. Both managers had some major investment over the summer. Do they get fired at the end of this season? Do they get fired at the end of this season if they don't produce what the standard is? I guess the question is what then is the standard, but what y'all say? Do they get fired? Do they
Shaq,
get
your answer,
fired?
amigo. Tell me.
You love call
Who
up my
gets
name, no
fired?
boy.
Fans, let us know
Look,
what you think. Does
I
Ollie
was having a
Arteta
discussion
get
with
fired?
Skill.
Because Lampard got fired. Lampard got fired. Just train that. Lampard got fired when you spend the big money and you don't produce. Did Ollie and Arteta get fired? Good shot.
I was having a discussion with Skill and more yesterday. And you know what? When you
Mm,
look at it, Ole has gotten Man United a better league position over the years. So in terms of that, you see improvement. But where I think Ole is failing and where I think that he will be scrutinized the most is titles. Is definitely titles because he has come up short in the many semifinals and final last year. All in all, he has gotten the money. I wouldn't say Arteta and Ole is in the same position because I think that Ole
mm-hmm,
is further along in his project than Arteta is. But I
mm-hmm,
think that I'm the type of guy who doesn't believe in this whole fire this and fire that. So I'm looking at if unless it's a harbor like if Arteta should come eighth again, we don't have an 8 place team. Then he'll be on the chopping block. Simple as it
mm-hmm,
is because we don't have an
mm-hmm,
8 place team. All in all, I think Ole should challenge I think Ole should challenge on all fronts. Champions League and
So
Premier
you think
League.
you should
I think that
challenge
he
for
can.
Champions League, but you don't have to win it. You don't have to win Champions League, and you don't have to win the Prem.
Not
He just has to challenge.
I think he has to challenge. I think he has to challenge and yeah, challenge. I think he has to challenge.
Okay. All right. Drew, what do you say about Arteta and about Oli? Because some would say,
Well, here, all right. Jolly said it
Lampard.
in the comment section. Jolly says in his comment section, for me, Arteta needs minimum to qualify and get Arsenal at least back into the Europa League.
Top
Because it's not
6 or
impossible.
bust.
Our boss, yeah. Top 6, our boss. If Arteta fails to at least get Arsenal back into the Europa League, personally, I don't mind being his driver out of the stadium. No problem.
Wow.
Outside, gone.
Wow.
Bye. No, but for real, because I mean, you've gotten the players that you wanted. You might not have gotten everybody per se, because then again, this comparison of what Arsenal has spent and brought in players versus United, I find it to be a ridiculous comparison. Yeah, we're looking at number in terms of the amount of money spent, but then if we look at the type of players brought in, the age of the players, the quality of players. We're talking about United bringing in a bunch of experienced players who have been there, who have done it,
Ready-made.
who should not need ready-made. Perfect. We're bringing in now young players because you can see them man are trying to build over the entire core of that
Into
team.
culture.
Because as
Right.
much as we spend all that money, we still have no depth. We still have no depth. We don't have a bunch of experienced players to go in and partner in with the young core. So there's still a lot of business left to be done. Over the time since Ole has been there, for the few seasons he's been, Ole has brought in. And I think that he has brought in enough now at this point that it is time to challenge. So you were out of Champions League. He got y'all back into Champions League. However, y'all got knocked out of the Champions League into the Europa. Haven't got into a finals. Finally get to a finals. Lose the finals. But at the same time, we have to say it is progress. Because from not being able to get past the semis to now get into the finals.
Which Klopp did. Klopp did the same thing. He lost a couple of finals before he won with Liverpool.
Yeah. That's correct. So again, I can't hate on Ole and just say, hey, he not good, get rid of he. He has progressed. However, this season there needs to be more progress. The challenging for the Premier League title is unnegotiable with that team. Okay. If he's not challenging for the Premier League title, 1 foot done out the door. And then for the Champions League, I'm not saying he must win it, but he has to challenge and not just little play.
Semi-final for both of you? Semi-final, quarter-final?
A semi-final, to be honest, no, not quarter. Semi minimal. Yeah, if he gets to the semi-final, especially if you all lose and it's a game where it's not like you're just outclassed, but maybe it's just a tough loss, then yeah, and then you challenge for the Premier League title. Quite frankly, I think y'all have a good enough team to win the Premier League. Honestly speaking.
I gotta say, I really want to get your opinions on this, right? Two things. I was watching Vibe with Five on Rio's channel there, and he was making a few points on this that I thought were interesting. He was saying the two things you have to consider. For the Oli section, he was saying, and I think some other guy was saying it in the show too, that when Moyes came in, Moyes got fired after his first season, okay? And everybody's like, nobody gave Moyes time. Moyes needed time to build the squad to make it into his image, all right? But then other people are saying the reason why he got fired is because that same team won the title that season. So you can't win the title and then come seventh. You see what I'm trying to say? Now, even though you consider the team needed revamping, the team is not his team. I guess the problem is that because you're Man United, you can't come seventh. If you come fourth, Moyes would probably still be there. And then it comes down to the other factor of the owners. The owners have a major part to play in that too. Here's my question to you guys. Y'all are talking about the minimum standard for Arteta and the minimum standard for Oli. But have you taken into account the fact, Oli, that the owners may have a different standard altogether? And in their mind, they figure that they can't afford a Zidane. They can't afford a Kante. Them man go want too much money. And Oli and Arteta go work with the scraps. What are your thoughts on that? They may not get fired.
Yeah, but then with Oli, you can't say scraps because United does not have scraps. If anybody has scraps, Arsenal.
No, but then
we're talking about Ronaldo, Pogba.
True. But do you think
Fernandes,
I hear you, but do you think that your owners are thinking about that, or your owners are saying, I don't care what you think I bought you concerning the young players. I gave you, how much money I spent? 150 million?
145 or 47.
I gave you nearly $150 million. What did that get me? Y'all know that's Abramovich kind of thinking. Because Abramovich was like, I gave you $200 million. Yes, it's 200 million good players. But the point is that would your owners then, are you concerned that your owners might think, 150 million, what did you give me? And if you come fifth, he's thinking 150 should get me fourth. Is that a fair assessment? That 150 should get him at least fourth?
Well, yeah, if that's what the owner is thinking, and he's going to hold him to that standard, I have no problem with that, because then it shows ambition from the owners. I have no problem with that. If a 40 negotiate, and you give 150 and he make fourth, and you want to get rid of him, so be it. Get rid of him. But again, there needs to be a plan. When you get rid of him, what happens then? You bring in a new manager who then comes in, who may not favor even some of the new players that you just spent $150 million on. You have to do this whole start over process, get players for gel with manager, players who might be favorites now again, may not to be favorites to him. He have a different play style. So for me, if Arteta gets top 6, I think that's fair enough for him to keep his job. But again, despite us not having, this great team, and we don't have the depth like the Cities and the Chelseas and even the United, when you think about it, we also have to take into consideration that we're not in Europe. So he has more time on his hands, which is why if he cannot at least get top 6 for me, Arteta has to go. Arteta out. There has to be something crazy that takes place in that club where they have some crazy COVID outbreak and about 40 man get injured for me to say, boy. But then even then, I might still say Arteta out, because then at that point, me get convinced that Arteta cursed.
Yeah, I was speaking to an Arsenal fan just yesterday, and he was dropping word on me about a Patrick Vieira coming over business. So we'll see how that one they go. All right. Should United have gotten 2 penalties with Cristiano in the West Ham game?
1.
Which one?
I agree, Joe.
Yeah, the last one from Zuma. For me,
but
that's a
the
penalty.
First one,
the other 2 penalties. No, the first 2, no, because for me, while you can say maybe there's a little contact, you can clearly see he's looking for it. The man dived. The man that go on like Michael Phelps. And I give him a penalty for them somebody. Big star baller like you, Ronaldo. Come on, man.
Yeah, well, you know how the league is now. And I agree with you, though. As a United fan, I do think the first 2, I saw them, and my conscience tell me, them this off. Nah, nobody that, But the third one, though, with the Zuma, even the hand and the foot,
for me, that was a clear penalty.
I think that was a penalty, yeah. What about West Ham? You think West Ham could have gotten 1? There's some claims that West Ham could have got a penalty.
It should have been a penalty.
Yeah, I think it was a penalty, to be honest. So, and I kind of feel like the second, I think the second call was closer to a penalty than the first call. And I felt like that was a make-up call in a sense for the fact that West Ham didn't get their penalty. So
okay,
you know,
okay, makes
yeah.
sense. Yep, as we said, referees are human. All right, would it have been right for Nuno to sub Kane, take you off the pitch, even earlier?
Yeah.
The reserves are right.
So then that leads me to the next question. Go ahead, Shaq. Go ahead.
Personally, when I look at Kane yesterday, Kane when they play, I mean, usually Kane drop deep, but I think yesterday Kane deep. Know what?
Yeah, he was. He
And I think that's
was.
a diff. Like he looked like Kane Sheila ball from in his own half, go all the way back down to free penalty box. I'm like, what's up with that? He didn't look like he was looking for the outlet pass either.
Yeah, he felt
But
more
if you
like
really check it
number
out,
10.
Yeah, if you really check it out in a shot, like we say, okay, he shielded the ball from his half all the way back down to the penalty spot. But if you really check it out and watch back the play, how many clear outlets were there? And there weren't much clear outlets, and nobody is coming to help the man either.
Well, quick question.
Right.
Based on what Joe said, I didn't ask this, but maybe y'all can tell me. Could it be possible that Nuno was already planning not to play with him? And so they already had a system in place that don't involve Harry Kane? So slotting, but you have to play him, right? You have to play Harry Kane. So now he's playing now. He doesn't fit the system. And you can add to this, guys, what do you do when your best player don't want to play for you? He head not in the game. Your captain and your best player. What do you do?
True.
Talk to me. What y'all think? Maybe Fancy can let me know to what y'all would do.
Josh, I think that's an excellent question. But then at the end of the day, Nuno has to do what he needs to do to save his job. That's what I think. So if you're on a winning streak and you're doing well, even if you say, because Harry Kane is quality, so you'd always play the quality. Even though you play the quality, a couple games down, you see something is wrong inherently with how my team is playing, the flow of the game. If you have a player that's not pulling his weight, he's going to bring everybody down. I heard a lot of the players, the commentators, slaughtering Ndombele, especially for that Kante goal, because they thought he should close him down. So if you're going to say that one man fitness is going to hamper your team that greatly, then if another player, your captain, is not doing what he is supposed to do, then I'm saying take him out, save your job, and save your team.
But Joe, if you and Shaq, both y'all are in that Spurs team, you saw the news, you saw what Harry Kane was saying, and you hear him say after the fact that he's staying. How does that affect you in the team? Does it affect you at all, or you just go about your business?
I mean, for me, it depends on the relationship I have with Harry Kane. Because as a player, if we have a good relationship, you're my striker and everything, but if we have a good relationship, for example, Son, let's say they've always said that him and Son have a very, very good relationship, not just on the field, but off the field. And it's possible that maybe these are conversations Kane have had with Son already. And I mean, as your friend, at the same time, I understand why you want to move. When you stayed at a club and given so much and you have nothing to show for it. And then with this whole gentleman's agreement, the same gentleman's agreement that, what's his name, Madrid had spoken about, and then he couldn't get his move. Same thing with Kane. I mean, you understand, but at the end of the day, as professionals, you're supposed to know that this is all a part of the game. And the fact that, hey, it didn't work out, he didn't move, and he came out, he said, okay, I'm back. I'm 100% committed to the team. That's still your striker. That's still your talisman. For me, that shouldn't be an issue.
But it seems like it might just be a problem Spurs have to fix soon. All right. O'Neill says Spurs should take that 150. And Johnny says, bro, I think Spurs should just get rid and start over 150 mil and be Silva and Laporte, right? But Levy's a scumbag, you know. Bro, only two players in the world what then kind of deal there, Messi and Ronaldo, the 150 that was mentioned before. Quick,
Yo,
let's
fellas,
switch it up.
Josh, quickly,
Yes,
this is my
sir.
last point before you move on.
Mhm.
Look at it this way: if you're working for an organization, and yes, there was a gentleman's agreement, would you? Is it okay? Put it this way: is it okay for you to jeopardize that establishment because of maybe that gentleman's agreement not coming to fruition? I
Yeah.
don't think so. So I think you still have to be
Well,
professional. I think you have to be
what you call
professional. Do your
professional?
job.
Or do
Do
your
your
job?
job. Do
Okay,
your
I agree with that. I
yeah.
agree with
Do
that. Do
your
your job.
job.
You're getting paid a ton of money. Do your job. Do your job. But I was thinking more along the lines where you feel like whether or not at some point you should try to hold the club hostage. You want something, and they're jeopardizing your career. They're not providing the team around you to win, and you figure if I score 50 goals this season, I'm still going to lose because
Mhm.
Sanchez and
I hear you.
Rondon are gonna keep conceding. So I gotta leave this
I'm
team,
gonna
and then
be
I left. They have me here, wasting my best years, which is basically what he's saying. You know,
I
uh,
hear you.
But
let's
then
talk.
looking, you
Right.
see,
I was
like how
just good, Joe.
looking from it from the business perspective, we also have to look at it from the player perspective. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
these owners and organization and institutions, they
Mm-hmm.
don't care about the players. As far as you're concerned, you
Mm-hmm.
are my ATM. Basically, that's it.
And
So
Raiola,
at the
Raiola,
end of the day,
go ahead. Go ahead, Joe.
sorry.
Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, so yeah. So at the end of the day,
mm,
I can understand Kane's frustration and
mm,
the way in which he reacted. The man put in a transfer request. The man say, and it's not like he came out and right there off the back he came out and said, "Oh, he wants to leave," and he had a gentleman's agreement and whatnot.
mm-hmm,
He put in a transfer request. It was
mm-hmm,
quiet. They already knew he wanted to go to City. He said
mm-hmm.
that they're aware of what it is I want to do. And then Levy come out, so the man move and this and that and
Yeah,
this and that. So
yeah,
the man start, the man basically for me defend himself. I see no,
yeah.
I honestly I see nothing wrong with what Kane did and how he did
Right.
it.
Okay. I mean, go ahead, Josh. Go ahead.
I know you want to say more. I know you do want to say more. Let's talk Brighton. Brighton are playing well, guys. They're at the top of the table.
Yeah.
Many would think to themselves, and not just for the men, the women too. Apparently, both sides are playing really well. How long is this going to last? We tend to see one of the liquor teams in them always play well in the first 10 games, and then they drop off. Could Brighton actually make top six? Oh no,
Hmm. Top six for me may be a
top
stretch
six.
for them. I'm struggling to think that the depth, the rigors of a 38 game Premier League season, I'm struggling to think that they have enough. I'm open for them to prove me wrong, but as of now,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I trust their manager to make the right choices. I trust,
Mm-hmm.
but I just don't trust their quality on the pitch. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say no. I would say no. They
Mm-hmm.
can't make top six, but they're going to take some points off of some big teams.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. They haven't even played anybody serious yet. But Brighton though for sure. They play football. They do. And you're right. If they stay away from injuries though, they could make a decent shout. A decent shout for that, especially if the other teams don't play well. And Neil says he doesn't think they're gonna. He says, if Sheridan win PL, we wouldn't be talking about him. That's harsh though. That's really harsh. He does have the most goals in the Prem though. So give him a little shout there. But Brighton, a different story. They won't make top six, however, they're not getting relegated, like one of the
Yeah,
odds
I
said.
agree.
All right, I agree too.
But
Will Man City guys? Not me for sure. I always know Brighton play football. Me always afraid them. That's my bogey team there. Honestly, will Man City regret guys not signing? Ben, it was wow.
Oh
okay,
boy.
Jolly,
Okay.
Jolly, you get a 1 point for that.
Yeah, score.
Will Man City regret, guys, not signing a striker? Will Man City regret not signing a striker. I mean, they didn't. Man United drew against Southampton. They drew against Southampton. It wasn't their best games, but it seems to me, guys, maybe I can disagree, agree. Let me know what you think. They have their plan A, and it's a really, really good plan A. That plan A won Champions Leagues for that coach, but there's no plan B. And to me, it felt like when Pep was at Barcelona, the plan B was Lionel Messi. Just give him the ball and make him do something amazing if the plan A don't work. But there's no Messi and Man City. There's no plan B Messi and Man City. Could that plan B be a Haaland? Could it be a Harry Kane? Or they just get better? We all think of that.
Go ahead, Joe.
Well, yeah, I think they need the striker because had they gotten Kane, I mean, Kane would be up there bagging goals, sipping pina coladas and just freestyling. However, they do have somebody who can play that striker role. Well, two players in Gabriel Jesus and Ferran Torres. I think Ferran Torres, his positioning and his positioning and his finishing for me is underrated. I think it's more a case where sometimes it's not even the fact that they're lacking the striker. Sometimes it's just Pep. Pep just over tamper with the team. Just like he just make too much little changes here and changes there and adjustment here and adjustment there, and then go out there and then lose, and then go out there and then draw the game. Because like Ferran Torres is the kind of guy that will come in, play today, score a hat trick, and then Pep they give the man on game for the next 2, 3, 4 games. You check, and the youth is a very good finisher. He's a very good finisher.
True.
And his positioning is good. So then if you don't have the striker and your plan B in the games where you need a striker, give the man game.
Yeah, but neither of those guys you mentioned are pure nines. I think don't you think they need a pure nine?
Gosh, in my notes here, I just wrote that down.
No, but that's true. Neither of them. I know it's the man over there, right? But that's true. None of them are a pure 9. But of the players they have available, the player that would be most ideal to, so to speak, substitute in that position for me, based on what they have available to them, is Ferran Torres.
Okay, well,
and when he does get the opportunity,
he finishes. I agree with that, but that's more. Wouldn't you say that's more to the system rather than the player? Because I believe that the wonderful thing that you talked about with Drogba, like right now, Drogba in this City team will score a ton of goals. All right, but I remember seeing this meme on the outside that where it's of what's his name, midfielder man for oh my goodness. De Bruyne, my brain not working. Sorry, guys. Where De Bruyne is kicking a ball and he just says, "Flip it." Ronaldo's in the box. This is when he was linked. Ronaldo was linked with them. Why would they attach that? I don't think it's just because of the fact that Ronaldo is Ronaldo, but because of the fact that when you whip that ball in the box, a guy like Ronaldo, a pure 9 like he is now, would just finish that. Right? They don't have anybody in their team that can do that. Like the goal Haaland just scored the other day. Nobody in their team can do that. I mean, just say, just give me the ball, round the area, and I'm just going to score, right? Just give me the ball. That's it. Everybody needs to have this pep system. Yeah, pass, move, on the end of it. I feel like anybody can do that, And Shaq, your thoughts on that? Your final thoughts on that?
No, I agree with you, Josh. I think those two names that Joe cited, we're struggling to think that either of them, that number 9 is their best position. I told Moy, and I think I told you too, Josh, early in the season, Ferran Torres, you won't score goals. But I don't think he will score enough goals for them to win the title. And that's where I think they're lacking in that particular area. I think they needed a pure 9. Because the amount of chances that the City that City
They
creates.
create.
When you look at
Yeah.
United, last year, and this is the difference why I think that I said that United should challenge. Because when you look at these games last year, they draw this game last year without CR7,
That is so
They would
true. That
draw this
West Ham
game.
game
And I'm
is a draw.
right. And
You're
you
so
look
right.
at City. City
Mhm.
draws this game. If City had Aguero, they win this game. Put it that way.
Yes, that's so true. That is
Yeah, but
so
shot.
true.
Look
Yeah.
in it, right? We
Right.
talk with the Ferran Torres, the way I'm thinking of Ferran Torres. Remember, Josh is saying they have a plan A. The plan A is brilliant. But then what
Right.
happens when the plan A doesn't work? And this is where Ferran Torres comes in for me. You put him now
Really?
in that role to bring something different. So for me now,
Really?
that's why I'm looking at Ferran Torres. I'm looking at Ferran Torres not as the plan A, but the plan B for when the brilliant plan A is not working. Because he's going to score you goals. And like you said, he won't
But how,
score you
Joe?
maybe that
What
crazy.
does he bring you different? What does he bring you different that the players on the field doing the plan A don't already bring you? I think that's the difference because I think
For example,
Chelsea had
that
the
game.
same problem. Chelsea had the same problem,
Mhm.
and they went and spent $115 million and
Chelsea's problem was Werner.
bought. No, because look at the Champions League. They had no pure nine. Werner is not a pure nine. What the other German one name? Ting. Come on, the German guy, man.
No, Havertz.
Chelsea.
Who's that? Gundogan?
Havertz is not a pure
Come on.
nine.
Yeah.
The
Chelsea.
American is not a pure nine. I mean, who else they have up there? Hudson-Odoi is not a pure nine. They had Tammy, but they didn't believe in him. They went and got Lukaku, who's the epitome of a pure nine. City didn't do that.
Yeah, but they only bought Lukaku because Werner did not work out. They were still creating chances. Werner got what 2 or 3 chances that same Champions League game. You think if Werner was firing and Werner was scoring goals and he scored those goals, that Chelsea would have bought Lukaku?
Yes, you know why?
I don't think so.
You know why? Because I think it's the same problem. 2 different managers, but I think it's the same problem. Because Tuchel, just like Pep, create a lot of chances for their team. Their system is as such that their plan A is so amazing that Tuchel could win the Champions League without a pure nine. But then he foresaw the problem and realized that I need somebody who's going to score goals regardless. And I don't think that they have that on their team. And Lukaku scores goals wherever he goes. Because don't forget now, they were going after Haaland first. The man know what they want.
Yeah.
They know I need a pure nine. They went for Haaland, they said nah budge. Then they went for Lukaku. Lukaku was second option. And then they got him. But then City weren't prepared to pay the ton of money that was needed to get Kane. Let's just be honest. I think Kane would have go for 200. I think he'd go for 200. I think he would have.
Look, Josh.
But you think that he would have been worth that 200? Would you have spent? You're City. You're spending that 200 on Kane?
I think it's going to end up being the difference between title and no title. That's why Chelsea is going to beat City to the title. That's what I think. For that reason alone, and I think the 2 of them create too many chances. Shaq, you saying in the comments, making some points.
I was going to jump on this one, Josh. Yes, they went on a 19-game win streak before they KB distracted. The teams in the Premier League figure these things out. They have a way of figuring these things out. And I'm not saying that City has been figured out, but because KDB is just coming back. But I'm saying that if you had a Harry Kane there in particular, you get a poacher there and you get someone who can also drop deep and attracts the attention of the other defenders. I am not sure that Ferran Torres has that same impact, has the same effect on the defensive team.
Shamoy here says though, City fan, buying Kane equals waste buy. I understand. I don't think anybody here tonight is saying that City still can't win the league and they're not going to create a ton of chances and score a ton of goals. I mean, look, they're beating people 5-0 and all kind of business, all right? 6-3 and all kind of stuff. They're going to score goals. It's just that's why I say you have a brilliant title-winning plan A, but there've been games where people like Tuchel sit down, even Ollie to some extent, sit down, figured out your plan A, and you didn't win those games. You didn't win those games. And those are the games where you needed a Hurricane. Those are the games where you needed a Lewandowski, a Zlatan, a Cristiano. You needed a Lukaku. You needed those type of players, you know. And Julius, he agrees. He said that Chelsea needed a focal point. They're so much of a better team when Lukaku is leading the line. Because then Havertz and Werner and Mount can play off of him. And that really wasn't happening before. All right. But there's a little rumor that they're going to bid for him again in January. Let's see how that goes. All right. Let's see how that goes. The Hurricane could move in January. You never know. You never know. They might just save the 50 million and come in 200. Who knows?
Yeah, but I was hearing something about okay, if he doesn't move in January, that the next transfer window he would be allowed to move. But then at the end of the season, the next transfer window he would be allowed to move. But for me, if I'm City, if I bid for you, I don't get you. I bid for you again in January. I don't get you again. I'll focus for Haaland for me.
Okay. All right. Well,
If I'm City,
we'll
I
see.
won't
We'll
go back
definitely
again.
see.
Anyway, even in January.
You wouldn't go back January?
No.
Okay.
What if you're in fourth or third and you're 10 points behind at Chelsea?
I'm saying, if they call it, let me qualify. If they call in for that same amount of money, I don't go for Kane.
So what's the most you pay for Kane, Shaq?
Yo, nah, like me pay Kane, 120 for Kane.
120. Okay, right. Fans, let us know what you think about that.
Given that his value doesn't drop, these performances that we're seeing don't continue for the rest of the season up until January.
Yeah.
And even 120 may be a stretch, dog. I'm saying.
Okay.
Be 101, just so that he more than Grealish.
101. Oh boy, yeah, because Grealish could be kind of the standard, you know. You have to be more than 100, but less than 150. All right, a couple of people here saying a couple of things. And Jalie's saying nobody paying 150 for one, for Kane. Yeah. And Mbappe available next season. Remember that? Yeah, but you know you're going Real Madrid. We all know that, you know. And y'all still going. All I have to say, yeah, we're still going. We're supposed to close, but it got interesting. All I have to say is the Rafinha goal was the best. We hear you. We also noticed that you haven't said much about the fact that your team was lost.
Thank you. That's the energy he coming with. The Rafinha goal was the best.
He just want to drop that in there.
Kante goal was the best.
Yes, it was. Good goal by Kante. Yeah, the man said Kante only scored the big games. The man said Kante score against United, score against Leicester. You know,
yo, that's a Mamba mentality there.
I think he has like 10 PL goals, and all 10 is against top teams.
Big
he
teams.
scored people like Burnley and Southampton. He scored as a team there.
But yeah, I saw the meme where they were like, there was the meme on Twitter where they were saying, Kante not being accustomed to scoring, so not to knowing how to celebrate will never get old. Bro, Kante scored, right? And the man, like, he didn't know what to do. He wanted to clap.
You don't know, he didn't prepare for it. Did he get tempted knee slide? Did he get tempted a knee slide? Or tried to, or something to that effect.
Tried
to. He tried to, yeah. But yeah, that's y'all about me and that knee slide thing, boy. I just think about that and see pain. Anyway, maybe those pictures there. I guess I'm thinking about the Antigua pitching them without a stone, you know, I'm thinking not impossible.
Wow.
Wow. Alright, but either way though, plenty grass now these days in Antigua without the rain are coming. So if we get back to football, maybe by Christmas.
Yo, the field look nice, Najashi.
Yeah, I know. I saw it today. I was like, boy, see grass going in places we never see grass grow. So I mean, you know, thank God for that. But yeah, we saw Christmas football, so you know, all the fans tonight pray for that. You know, that this COVID thing, at least locally, will die down. More people get their vaccine, so we can go back outside.
At least locally.
we can kick some ball, something going on there. All right. But thanks for all the fans that came in tonight and gave your opinions. I know we had a lot to talk about, but everybody gave such great commentary. Thanks to Joe for Joe's Team of the Week, definitely. And we'll be doing this every week, obviously. Yeah, definitely. You're gonna see that on our social media. Tonight, tomorrow morning, soon you'll check it out to see what his picks are. If you like his stuff, you can comment, you can share it. He made some very, very
If you don't like
picks,
him, you can come and cuss you too.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Our challenge is accepted.
I guess so. All right. But we'll be doing that every week. We're getting everybody's Team of the Week.
I just want to put some emphasis on the name again because I know we're about to close. But relegation, Ramsdale with 3 starts and 3 clean sheets. I just want to point out that I was the only man out here in these streets rooting for my boy Aaron's Ramsdale. I know right now some people are turn fans and they say Ramsdale was brilliant and this and that. And you have the haters over there saying, oh, he only played against Burnley, he only played against Norwich,
I'm still against him. Len was better than him by far, in my opinion. We all know I hate Ramsdale.
I think Len is a better shot stopper. I think Len is a better shot stopper, but all round goalkeeping. Bro, I am going to go.
Joe, me not worry about all them who better shot stopper. Ramsey in the goal now, and Ramsey hasn't put a foot wrong.
Yeah, he's done well.
I'm all on Ramsey's team right now.
Yeah, I mean, I was really
don't make that trending.
I've publicly in this show gone against Ramsdale. I have, but I give props. He's played.
He's played well.
Mm-hmm.
He's
played well. So props is Drew. But O'Neal say that you're gonna bite your words. So we'll see. Hopefully, we'll see. Hey, this weekend I want to test it now. This weekend Harry Kane made us say, okay, Ramsdale, I used to practice on you in England training. Can you tell twice? You know how you are.
Let's see now. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to the derby, farm goes out the window.
Okay,
derby. All farm goes out the window. So,
all right. So,
last time some boys score one of a banner and celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
But they always say who laugh last. Who laugh last?
He didn't get sold too. So
he gets sold.
All right. So exactly. Don't score a bonus against Arsenal or you get sold. That's the moral of the story. All right. But come Thursday, guys. Come Thursday, everybody. And let's talk some more. Let's talk some more football. Thanks again, guys, for tonight and everything that you said. And have a great evening. All right.
Thank you for watching Island Fans. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you'll know when there are new videos and updates. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and like us on Facebook. Island Fans, for the passion of the game.